Doesn't look like much. Just a typical older 100-year-old building, but in this time next year, this nearly 9,000 square foot place will be transformed into an all-day cafe, alcoholic, non-alcoholic drinks from the folks at Metric Coffee. Metric Coffee's indoor-outdoor spot is only just one of the hot spots in Avondale. And that is what we're highlighting today. Is it the hottest hood in Chicago? My 291 subscribers and another one, we are doing a neighborhood / community video, the Avondale community of Chicago. As always, right here, if you're new, this is my information. I am a local Chicago realtor with eXp Realty, and through my YouTube channel, The Chicago Life, I focus on Chicago's real estate and neighborhood. I want to briefly kind of explain the location and what Avondale is classified as. So, as I've mentioned, if you've been, I hope you've been on my community tab. I have a community tab on my channel. Please check it out. I'm going to have a link. It's in a display of the YouTube channel, and then you can simply just, all you have to do is just pan over and go to the community tab. I actually had a map of Chicago, and Chicago is made up of 9 sides, right, or areas. Under those sides or areas is 77 designated communities, and then of course there are hundreds of neighborhoods. Each community may have anywhere from 2 to 5 neighborhoods. And technically, Avondale is a community. It is located in one of the sides, which is the north side of Chicago. There are 5 communities: Avondale, Logan Square, North Center, Lakeview, and Lincoln Park. Those 5 communities make up the north side of Chicago. With transportation, ladies and gents, Belmont is the major hub, transit hub of the Blue Line, located right there, and it has proximity to the expressway. That's why Avondale is really, really great. I mean, listen, it is hot. The block is hot. The block is hot, right? It's a hot hood, but it's really strategic because of its location to the expressway. So, of course, if you really want to have that beach life, which I've done several neighborhood videos, of course, you can get there by jumping in an Uber or a Lyft, but it's really not about that beach life. You're going to be about being strategically located with some hot restaurant bars and that access to the expressway. So you can have a car, you can get on the expressway really quickly, you have the transit spot, and then of course there is bus lines, right? Because Belmont is a major road through the Avondale community. And you're going to see right here the link to the CTA bus. You can go ahead and do the research for yourself. So you've got the bus, you've got the train, of course you've got the expressway. So transit options are plentiful in Avondale. So I've explained with the Andersonville video I did about a week ago, schools, right? So now depending on where you're located within Avondale, right, for the neighborhood schools, and this focuses only on neighborhood schools, folks, you would, depending on where you live, your child would either go to a Logandale Elementary School, right? Or you would go to Carl Van Linney, not Linney. Those are the 2 elementary options. And then for high school, Schwartz High School would be that option. And really, parents, particularly parents, you got to go to cps.org, gocps.org, to make sure to look at the admissions requirements, because depending on, there's programs, particularly with the high school, there are programs within. There could be an IB program, there could be a cluster that may require either a test or some type of point system, not just simply open enrollment. As you know, again, a quick refresher, neighborhood schools are open enrollment, but depending on what program within that elementary or high school, you need to know that. So those are the 3 options of schools. And of course, if you need any help with looking at rankings, because of the pandemic, the last couple of years, there has not been rankings official by CPS, which is Chicago Public Schools. Options are you can research IllinoisSchoolCard.org, niche.com, or greatschools.org. That is greatschools.org, niche.com, or Illinois report card. And it's either org or .com. Simply use Google. It's always your friend. So listen, you're living now in Avondale. You're considering living in Avondale. You want to do a little kind of maybe like a taste test of the Avondale community. So what would you do for a typical day? So I'm saying here on a Saturday or a Sunday, I would start at Tribeca Sandwich Shop. They got great breakfast sandwiches in the morning. They open around 10 o'clock, right? Becca, the owner, was actually a former employee of Honey Butter Chicken, which you'll see a little bit of B-roll of Honey Butter Chicken. Great, awesome chicken. And I believe, though, the owners of Honey Butter has ownership interest in her sandwich shop. She's actually a Galesburg native. I grew up in Galesburg. Who knows? If anyone out there on YouTube that grew up in Galesburg, holler at me, right? So obviously I'm on a social support to her. She's doing a great job. If you don't want to have any food, or maybe you want to start a little bit later, you can go to Dark Matter Coffee, very close by to Tribeca Sandwich Shop. Just grab a cup of coffee, and you can walk up and down Elston. But if you've got a really big appetite, let's say you have that cup of coffee, and you haven't had your sandwich, then on Sundays, I strongly recommend Chief O'Neill's. I've talked about it in the past. Wonderful Irish food. They've got a killer brunch on Sundays only from 10 to 2 p.m. So definitely check that out. So that's where you start. And as the day goes on, you want to head over to Metropolitan Brewing. They got an awesome patio, right? And it may not be open in the winter, but listen, who knows when you're going to be watching this video. Check out Metropolitan Brewing. Metropolitan Brewing, which has an awesome patio, by the way, in the back, has great, really easy drinking beers. It's a tap room, right? So you can actually get tacos from a third party, or what I've been getting, as you can see from these chins, I've been getting Soul and Smoke, which operates within the whole big facility over on Rockwell. And listen, in the summer, they even have a kayak docking station where you can take your kayak. Yes, can you believe it? There's kayaking. I've done it in previous videos. You can take the kayak down the north branch of the Chicago River. You can dock your kayak there and get some drinks, enjoying and looking at the beautiful views of the Chicago River. But if Metropolitan Brewing isn't your kind of bag, go to Sleeping Village. It's a concert venue. They've got an outdoor space. Right now it's open a little bit later, folks. They had coffee, but right now the hours are usually around 6 to 1 a.m. It's over closer, a little west, Belmont in Hamlin. Check out Sleeping Village with that great outdoor space too in the back. Now, of course, there is a lot of concrete being in the Avondale community, but do not despair. Brands Park, I always talk about green space. And listen, in all of the wonderful 77 communities of Chicago, you're going to get some green space. There's going to be some park space. So you got your creature comforts there. You got the playground. You got the outdoor activities. Take the doggos out there. Make sure they get some exercise. And oh, by the way, what I didn't mention with Metro Brewing, there's a little theme going here. I love Metro Brewing. I love the folks. Staff is amazing. They allow the doggos, your fur babies, inside, not just on the patio. They're allowed inside. Now, obviously, okay, be a responsible owner. You know, if the dog, make sure the dog is leashed. Just make sure your dog is leashed. But at least you can bring your doggos in. You don't have to worry about leaving at home. You want to do some day drinking, you can go to Metro, have some great tacos. You got barbecue there. And, of course, if you don't want to drink at all, go to Brands Park. Be outside, be one with nature. Avondale community of Chicago is the hottest area in Chicago, as I've told you, ranked by Time Out Magazine, excuse me. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I am, of course, Anant Deoras, AD with eXp Realty here in the city. What do you want to see now? Don't go. I've got a couple of videos I want you to see, but what do you want to see? I don't care if you're the first person subscribing or the last person, or you haven't subscribed. I want to be able to provide value to my community. I really appreciate you watching my videos. Tell me what you want to see. If you want to see more neighborhood-centric videos, happy to send it. If you want education, I'm happy to send it. You let me know. Thank you for watching. Again, watch the couple of videos I here have on the screen, and I can't wait to see you next week. Every week, at least one video I produce for you. Take care.